Russian, South Ossetian and Abkhaz victory. Russian armed forces in South Ossetia. In Abkhazia. Total in Abkhazia, 9,000 soldiers Don Cossacks, hundreds Terek Cossacks, hundreds 3,000 regular soldiers. Georgian armed forces in South Ossetia. In Georgia proper. In Iraq, Ministry of Internal Affairs. Russia. Russian armed forces. North Ossetian and Cossack volunteers. South Ossetia Ministry of Defense. Reservists and militiamen. Ministry of Internal Affairs. Abkhazia. Georgia. Georgian armed forces. Ministry of Internal Affairs. Civilian casualties. South Ossetia, 162. According to Russia, at least 365. According to South Ossetia, 255 wounded. According to Russia. Georgia, 224 civilians killed and 15 missing. 547 injured, 1 foreign civilian killed and 3 wounded. Abkhazia. Georgia. Uncontested. Georgia. The Russo Georgian War was a war between Georgia, Russia and the Russian-backed self-proclaimed republics of South Ossetia and Abkhazia. The war took place in August 2008 following a period of worsening relations between Russia and Georgia, both formerly constituent republics of the Soviet Union. The fighting took place in the strategically important Transcaucasia region. It was regarded as the first European war of the 21st century. The Republic of Georgia declared its independence in early 1991 as the Soviet Union began to fall apart. Amidst this backdrop, a war between Georgia and separatists left parts of the former South Ossetian Autonomous Oblast under the de facto control of Russian-backed but internationally unrecognized separatists. Following the war, a joint peacekeeping force of Georgian, Russian, and Ossetian troops was stationed in the territory. A similar stalemate developed in the region of Abkhazia, where Abkhaz separatists had waged war in 1990–1993. Following the election of Vladimir Putin in Russia in 2000 and a pro-Western change of power in Georgia in 2003, relations between Russia and Georgia began to deteriorate, reaching a full diplomatic crisis by April 2008. By the 1st of August 2008, South Ossetian separatists had begun shelling Georgian villages, with a sporadic response from Georgian peacekeepers in the area. Artillery attacks by pro-Russian separatists broke a 1992 ceasefire agreement. To put an end to these attacks and restore order, the Georgian army was sent to the South Ossetian conflict zone on the 7th of August. Georgians took control of most of Skhumvali, a separatist stronghold. In hours, Russian troops had illicitly crossed the Russo Georgian state border and advanced into the South Ossetian conflict zone by the 7th of August before the Georgian military response. Russia accused Georgia of aggression against South Ossetia and launched a large-scale land, air and sea invasion of Georgia on the 8th of August with the pretext of peace enforcement operation. Russian and South Ossetian forces fought Georgian forces in and around South Ossetia for several days, until Georgian forces retreated. Russian and Abkhaz forces opened a second front by attacking the Kodri Gorge held by Georgia. Russian naval forces blockaded part of the Georgian coast. The Russian Air Force attacked targets beyond the conflict zone, in undisputed parts of Georgia. This was the first war in history in which cyber warfare coincided with military action. An information war was also waged during and after the conflict. Nicolas Sarkozy, the president of France, negotiated a ceasefire agreement on the 12th of August. Russian forces temporarily occupied the Georgian cities of Zugdidi, Senaki, Poti and Gori, holding on to these areas beyond the ceasefire. The South Ossetians destroyed most ethnic Georgian villages in South Ossetia and were responsible for an ethnic cleansing of Georgians. Russia recognized the independence of Abkhazia and South Ossetia from Georgia on the 26th of August and the Georgian government severed diplomatic relations with Russia. Russia mostly completed its withdrawal of troops from undisputed parts of Georgia on the 8th of October. Russian international relations were largely unharmed. The war displaced 192,000 people, and while many returned to their homes after the war, 20,272 people, mostly ethnic Georgians, remained displaced as of 2014. Since the war, Georgia has accused Russia of occupying Abkhazia and South Ossetia in violation of the ceasefire agreement of August 2008. In the 10th century AD, Georgia for the first time emerged as an ethnic concept in the territories where the Georgian language was used to perform Christian rituals. After the Mongol invasions of the region, the Kingdom of Georgia eventually was split into several states. In the 19th century, the Russian Empire gradually took over the Georgian lands. In the aftermath of the Russian Revolution, Georgia declared independence on the 26th of May 1918. The Ossetian people are autochthonous to North Ossetia. Controversy surrounds the date of Ossetian arrival in Transcaucasia. According to one theory, they first migrated there during the 13th and 14th centuries AD and resided alongside the Georgi.